farmer, friend, singer-songwriter, Lyal Strickland.
And that's farmer, friend, and jack of all trades, Chris Horn.
And we're those Tastebud guys.
Hey guys, welcome back. Thanks for joining us again. Hopefully you've liked the last several episodes we've put up. We've run into a bit of luck with getting new things brought to us that we didn't have a chance to do in the past. A lot of new beers that was brought up from the south and from the north, and some random imports brought in. We've got lucky enough to get some new whiskeys and tequilas and all kinds of stuff. And so the cabinet's looking good, the refrigerator's looking good. But man, I cannot tell you how amazingly excited I am for what we get to do tonight.
Yeah, we're both so excited that we've already tried it, but we're trying it.
I have had it before now.
We're trying it again tonight.
It's behind you. I'll let you grab it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So if you've been watching the last few episodes, you may have seen this one sitting on the counter back there. And, oh gosh, guys. This is the Whistlepig Rye, 15-year. What's it called? Vermont? What is it? Vermont Estate Oak. And we'll talk a bit more about that in a second. What we do know about this from experience is that we need to get it poured and we need to let it set for a second because this one needs to breathe a bit. So while I'm doing this, Lyal, talk a little bit about what this is.
Yeah, so this is a Whistlepig 15-year rye. The special thing about this is that this is aged in oak barrels made from Vermont oak. Now, why that's important is because the oaks in Vermont have a short growing season, so the rings are really tight. Near as I can understand it, they take those tight-ringed Vermont oaks, they ship them down to American Stave Company, which is part of Independent Stave Company,
which is close to us.
Just about 30 miles from us, yeah. But I think these go down to Kentucky. They make these barrels. Near as we can tell, those tight rings allow the whiskey to permeate further into the wood and back out as the season and temperature swells. So you get,
they must do it for a reason.
So they get a different flavor to it.
So it's got a 15-year age statement on it, which means that the shortest aged whiskey that could be in this mix is at least 15 years old. There could be older. I don't know if this is a single batch, so I don't know if it was aged older or not.
I just think it'd have a learner's permit.
Yeah, it could. It's the oldest whiskey we've had up here to date, I believe.
Yeah, even out of the Scotches.
Even out of the Scotches.
Yeah.
So
now, what I'm interested in is the proof on this, because this is it's 92 proof. That is a fairly hot whiskey.
That shows up in the taste of it too. It is. That's just why we're letting it set a little bit.
Which is similar to the Booker's, which was what proof? This was.
I thought Booker's was hotter, but I don't remember.
It's actually quite a bit hotter. 128 proof.
128 proof, okay. But Booker's was so hot that I actually wasn't as big a fan of it because the alcohol overwhelmed the flavor of it. That's when I had to have
ice
watered down a little bit.
Now,
from our experience on this, we also know this one could use a little water sometimes, so we've got some water down here that we may put a little water back with it. So if you see us doing that, it's like we talked about before, we're just using to break those oils up a little bit, lower that proof down, take away a little bit of that alcohol off the nose and in front of it, and kind of allow us to taste it a little better. So,
man, I mean, listen, this is whiskey. It's rye whiskey. There's not like anything groundbreaking on the aroma. It's vanilla, caramel, oak. I want
to throw this in. Every time I've had this whiskey, it is the most vanilla I've had on the nose of any whiskey I've ever tasted.
You generally have trouble pulling out vanilla notes.
I do.
And you don't have any problem with
I have no trouble. Vanilla and paint thinner. That's what I've got here.
Man. That's a great
It's a heavy alcohol. It really is. No, we talked about it, the vanilla. I said leather. You said like a shoe leather on it. And I believe one of the tasting notes was tobacco. Which I think I get that in the flavor, but not on the nose so much. And then there's the wood, but the wood is so sweet smelling.
Oh. So taste. It is hot. It is a hot whiskey, but it's like a flash in the pan. It's like.
That first sip, it takes a minute to get past it, and I got to get in the second before I can really start talking.
It's hot, and then those flavors just like roll.
Do we know anything about Whistlepig, where they're, or how long they've been around, and that stuff?
Man, I don't know anything.
I bet it's up here in front of us now. If we could read from this side of the camera, we would know.
He just likes to make work for me.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, I know. Lyal will figure it out.
Lyal got a new computer, and he's always bragging about how great it is. So I thought, let's.
It's really fast,
make it
guys.
Work. Yeah. Oh man,
I'm picking up on the tobacco on the very end, like as it like right before the finish, right before you kind of breathe it out. There's a tobacco hint there, okay. But the leather's strong, vanilla's strong.
Vanilla, wood,
butterscotch, orange.
Yeah, I think they said something about caramel on there. I would say butterscotch before I said caramel. I still go back with the vanilla. I don't know.
They mentioned burnt.
There's
orange.
A spicy aspect of it too. I don't know what that spice is, but there's a spicy aspect of it.
Yeah.
Beyond the alcohol burn.
Yeah.
Now, aside from this being the oldest whiskey we have on here, as you might expect, they're not cheap. It's also the most expensive whiskey we've done so far.
So this is going to run what, $250 to $300 a bottle?
Yeah, I was gonna say, man, it's been all over the place on prices, but I think you might as well just figure you're going to pay at least $250 for this bottle. Again, thanks to our friend Colby, as we've said over the last few shows, he has very politely loaned us his collection right now and let us do these little samples off here.
And especially this, because I know Colby is a tequila guy.
Yeah.
And he took the try something new thing to heart.
Yeah.
And when Colby goes into something, he goes big.
Yeah. And thankfully, because this has been an amazing, I dare say I've got my share of that, what's missing, and I'm happy to have done so. So,
I think this is probably I know it's the best rye that I've ever had.
So I've
had some delicious ryes, but this is bar none the best. Now I've had some great ones. I want to preface that, but yeah. Now
I've had the Whistlepig. I originally said it was a 12-year Whistlepig. Mm-hmm. I'm now thinking it might be the 10. I'm not. I will actually have to go back and look. I know where I got it from. I got it off of a bar and took a glass of it. It was either the 10 or the 12, and it was not the rye.
Mm-hmm. What'd you think?
I loved it. It was my favorite whiskey to that point. I've said forever the Whistlepig, I think, makes one of just the finest whiskeys. I would love to try it right next to this one and see whichever one I'd come with like it. I actually think I might even like the other one better because it's not quite as hot. Mm-hmm. But I would want to sit here and try side by side because, my God, this stuff is great.
I would say that diminishing return for me personally, this is a little out of my ballpark.
Yeah.
But if you get a chance, but I will say, being that said, at a bar, if they had this available in a glass,
heck yeah,
this is what I'm getting.
Heck yeah, but you're probably going to pay, $17-20 a glass?
Yeah, but I'll be fine with that.
Yeah, it's easier than giving $300 for a bottle, for sure.
Yeah, but it's my bar none favorite rye I've ever had.
Well, like us, we try a little bit of everything up here, and we're always happy to have the cheapest stuff we can find, and we're always happy to have the most expensive stuff we could find, and that's what makes it interesting when you're out here trying all the new things that are available to you. So if you get a chance to get out and sample some of these, just know you're not going to waste your money. You are getting quality.
Yeah, and I would say if you're going to go, if you're looking at ryes, above that, like
maple syrup,
above that, yeah,
Vermont syrup.
If you're looking at ryes above that $100 mark, bite the bullet and get this. It's fantastic. You're going to jump up, I think.
Is it? Was it oak that they're aged in? They are, right?
Yeah.
White oak. Yeah, it says oak right there. Vermont State oak. Man, I certainly got a maple, just all at once. Just maple.
You're just on a track.
Yeah, it's very syrup. Well, like I said, when you finally overcome the alcohol burn in it, you really get to pick out a lot more out of it. Which, before we get off here, if you guys hang with us just for a minute or two, I am going to just put a little bit of water in mine, not much.
Distilled water.
It's distilled water, so it's not something that it's going to contaminate it too much. Break that up just a bit. And there's so much sweetness in sawdust.
Yeah?
Yeah, you just smell just sugar and sawdust now.
Now, here's another interesting thing. If you noticed, I didn't put a water back in mine because I'm going to drink his.
Now all the spices come out. Now you can really get in behind it, like Christmas candy, like cinnamons.
Yep.
And sure, now I can see a butterscotch in there, and I think the leather flavor come out heavier.
Yeah, that does open it up quite a bit.
So all the subtle spices stuff, and it don't take much, guys. Just a drop. You can even drop it in off your fingertip if you like, depending on how heavy or light you go. I wouldn't put this over ice. I think that's too much for it. It would handle it, but I think it'd be a disgrace to it. Personally, if that's what you like to do, go for it. But a drop of water in there certainly helps it out.
Yep.
So,
all right. Well, until next time.
Whether it be the absolutely amazingly expensive whiskey you're bumming off one of your buddies,
the food you're eating,
or the clothes you're wearing,
or the people you're meeting, grab a buddy.
Try
something new.